The first time humanity said the words, no one panicked. That was the mistake. The Galactic Assembly had heard thousands of species speak. Threats, pleas, bargains, ultimatums. But never those words. I'll handle it. Spoken quietly, calmly, without ceremony. Ambassador Elias Rourke of Earth had not raised his voice, he hadn't stood or gestured, he hadn't even looked angry. He simply leaned forward at the circular obsidian table of the assembly, folded his hands, and said it. I'll handle it. For half a second, the universal translators hesitated. Then the phrase rippled through 1,000 languages. And something changed. The Keeler delegates, 4-meter-tall arthropods bred for conquest, clicked uneasily. The Aurelian light choir dimmed their bioluminescence. Even the ancient Threxian archivists paused their constant data stream murmurs. Across the chamber, High Marshal Vokrath of the Dravari Dominion laughed. A deep, booming sound. You, Vokrath sneered, you are one species, barely 2 centuries spacefaring. This crisis involves a Class X extragalactic incursion. He tapped the hololithic display in the center of the room. A red mass bloomed on the projection. The Devourer Swarm. A self-replicating, star-consuming intelligence that erased entire civilizations and moved on without slowing. 12 empires had already fallen. 3 more were collapsing. The swarm was 3 weeks from the Perseus arm. From Earth. The Galactic Defense Accord had failed to stop it every time. Vokrath spread his talons. And you say you'll handle it? Ambassador Rourke nodded once. Yes. That was when the Galactic Early Warning Network quietly elevated humanity's threat profile from moderate to critical. No announcement was made. But deep in the data cores of 1,000 civilizations, ancient algorithms triggered one simple instruction. Observe the humans carefully. Humans had always been different. Not the strongest species, not the oldest, not the most technologically advanced. But there was something unsettling about them. They were quiet during debates. They listened more than they spoke. And when they did speak, they rarely exaggerated. So when humanity said I'll handle it, the older races remembered something. The Threxians remembered the Karnak incident, when humans were asked to assist with a pirate problem in a fringe sector. They sent one ship. The pirates vanished. No debris, no distress signals, no survivors. The Aurelians remembered the silent truce, when a border war threatened to ignite between 3 empires. Humans requested one private meeting with each side. The war never happened. No one ever learned what was said. The Keeler remembered the human evacuation fleets, which arrived unarmed during a supernova event and evacuated other species first, then stayed behind to stabilize the star using technology no one had ever seen deployed at that scale. Humans never bragged about these things. They simply handled them. So when Ambassador Rourke said the words again, this time into a secure channel to Earth, his voice carried no urgency. Greenlight all contingencies, he said. Humanity will handle it. On Earth, the reply came in less than 1 second. Understood. When the Devourer swarm crossed the first galactic boundary marker, every major power triggered maximum alert. For most civilizations, that meant mobilizing fleets, evacuating core worlds, activating planetary shields, broadcasting calls for allies. For humanity, it meant something else entirely. On Earth, alarms did not blare. There were no public announcements. Instead, deep beneath the crust, doors that had never been opened slid apart. Facilities older than humanity's interstellar age came online. Projects that existed only in myth, rumor, and sealed vaults activated. The Aegis arrays powered up around Sol not as shields, but as anchors. The Atlas shipyards, hidden inside folded spacetime near Jupiter, unfolded. And in the dark between stars, vessels that were not listed in any registry woke from centuries of silence. Admiral Hannah Okoye stood on the bridge of the UNS Resolute Dawn, watching status indicators cascade across the command display. How many? She asked. Her AI, Athena, answered calmly. All Black-class assets responding, estimated count, classified. Okoye allowed herself a thin smile. Good. The Devourer swarm had never faced humanity at full readiness. No one had. Because humans had learned a long time ago that survival wasn't about winning battles. It was about making sure there was nothing left to fight you twice. The Galactic Assembly reconvened in emergency session as the swarm advanced. Sensor feeds from dozens of empires streamed into the chamber. The swarm was enormous. Millions of biomechanical vessels, each capable of consuming a city in minutes. At its center, the core intelligence, a gravitational anomaly wrapped in living armor. Entire fleets had shattered themselves against it. High Marshal Vokrath was no longer laughing. "Human ambassador," he said tightly, "our projections show the swarm will reach your defensive perimeter in 14 hours. Rourke nodded. "Yes. And your fleet movements?" demanded a Keeler general. "We see no mass mobilization." Rourke leaned back. "That's because you're looking for fleets." A Threxian archivist's voice trembled through the chamber. "Human, your energy signatures are increasing across multiple dimensions." Rourke met their gaze. "Yes." Silence followed. Then, one by one, warning systems across the galaxy began screaming. Not because the swarm had accelerated, but because humanity had done something unthinkable. They had moved space itself. The Devourer swarm did not communicate. It consumed. It adapted. It learned. As it entered the outer boundary of human space, it detected resistance for the first time in centuries. Not weapons fire. Not shields. Interference. Entire regions of space folded, twisted, and locked into stable geometries that the swarm's physics could not rewrite. Human Aegis anchors activated. The swarm slowed. Confused. It tried to reroute. Space refused. The first human ships appeared then, not in formation, not in mass, but as solitary points of light. The galaxy watched as a single human vessel drifted forward. No visible weapons. No shields. Just a calm broadcast on every frequency. "Attention, extragalactic entity," the human voice said. "You are entering a restricted area." The swarm responded by firing. The beam struck the human ship. And bent. Curved. Flowed around it like water around a stone. The ship did not move. The galaxy went silent. Then the human voice spoke again. "You have two options," it said. "Leave, or be handled." The swarm attacked in full force. Millions of vessels surged forward. Humanity responded. Not with a charge, but with precision. Black-class vessels unfolded from higher dimensions, appearing inside the swarm's formation. They did not fire explosive weapons. They deployed constraints. Gravity inverted. Time dilated. Entire clusters of swarm vessels froze mid-motion, their internal processes stretched into infinity. Human ships moved through them like surgeons. Cutting. Isolating. Removing. The core intelligence reacted, warping spacetime around itself, trying to escape. Humanity had anticipated this. A weapon older than Earth's first warp drive activated. The horizon lock. Space closed. The core intelligence screamed, not in sound, but in reality itself fracturing. Across the galaxy, sensors overloaded. Stars flickered. The swarm tried to adapt. It failed. Because adaptation required time. And humans had taken that away. In the Galactic Assembly, panic spread. "What are they doing?" someone whispered. The Threxian archivists were running simulations faster than thought. Their conclusion was unanimous. "They are not defeating the swarm," the archivist said quietly. "They are ending it." Vokrath stared at the display as the swarm's numbers collapsed, not gradually, but exponentially. They could have done this sooner, he realized aloud. Rourke nodded. "Yes. Then why didn't you?" demanded the Keeler general. Rourke's expression hardened, not with anger, but with something colder. "Because we asked first," he said. "We warned, we negotiated, we offered help." The display showed the core intelligence shrinking, compressed, folded, and finally sealed inside a containment field the size of a moon. Human ships withdrew. The battlefield went quiet. The Devourer swarm, terror of the galaxy, was gone. Handled. Humanity did not claim territory. Did not demand tribute. Did not restructure the galaxy. They dismantled their constructs, powered down the Aegis anchors, and returned to normal operations. The core intelligence was locked away beyond the galactic rim, unreachable and inert. In the assembly, Ambassador Rourke stood. "This crisis is resolved," he said. "We suggest revising your threat assessment protocols." Vokrath swallowed. What are humans classified as now? The Threxian archivists updated the record. Humanity, threat level undefined, capability unbounded, status do not provoke. Rourke offered a small smile. "We don't want to be feared," he said. "We just want to be left alone." He paused. "And if we ever say I'll handle it again?" Every species leaned in. "Please understand," Rourke finished, "that it means you no longer need to worry." Years later, the phrase entered common galactic law. It appeared in treaties, in emergency protocols, in military doctrine. Rule 1: If humanity says I'll handle it, stand down immediately. Because the galaxy had learned the hard way. Humanity didn't say those words lightly. And when they did, it was already over.